Welcome back to the Flaherty Solutions podcast. My name is Kevin Flaherty.
I'm Erin Flaherty.
And today we are talking about
Reevaluating your life.
Reevaluating your life. Okay, so what are the topics we're going to cover with just an overview?
So reevaluating your life is something you can do anytime. But now that school is shaken up, work's shaken up, life's shaken up, it is a really good excuse to reevaluate why do we do the things we do and What do we want to change.
Exactly. All right, so school, because that's a big hot button. Mm-hmm. Work.
Yeah.
What the heck's going on with work and other things you want to change in your life?
Here's the thing. You can do it with anything, but the big thing, you could do it with relationships, friendships, spending habits.
Are we going to say on record who we're booting out of our circle?
I don't think we're booting anybody.
No, we're not.
We haven't talked about anybody.
Before we jump into all these topics, I do want to let everybody know that's listening in or watching on Facebook, YouTube, whatever the case may be, we are going to try to channel most of our efforts into YouTube going forward. So please make sure to subscribe to YouTube. The reason we're doing that is we're hitting the road, and when we record by our camera, it doesn't always pick up the audio, and it's making it hard to stay consistent on podcasts. We want to put it on podcasts, but this microphone right here makes the quality so much better for podcasts versus trying to record on the road. And we do plan on hitting the road one way or the other, and we like to podcast, video from there.
Yeah.
Or whatever we got to do. So
one way we're reevaluating our lives.
Exactly.
Is now. But this really came to my attention because work is different now. Some people who thought, I have to go into an office every day, and some people still have to go to an office every day or into some place where they have to do their job. There's no way around it. They have to be in person. Many others, their bosses or their employers were like, no, you could work at home, but we just don't allow that. Now, surprise, you can work from home, right? A lot of companies are like, oh, wait, it's a global emergency. Maybe you can do this job from home. And we've talked to a lot of managers who are actually friends with us who are seeing production increase.
Yes.
Because people are working from home. The downside of that is people feel like they're always on. There is no commute that separates the office from home. Uh-huh. But still, people are able to work from anywhere. And even if we get a magical unicorn vaccine.
Which we are.
Okay, fine.
Sorry, toxic positivity.
Well,
I'm taking over for Rachel Hollis.
Even if we are getting a magical unicorn vaccine, I don't feel like everyone's just going to be like, okay, life's back to normal where you have to come. I feel like there's going to be more flexibility with you can work from anywhere. Now people are seeing you can work from anywhere. Apparently, you can school from anywhere. So the big one on my mind, and we did a whole topic on school, is one thing that's come to our minds are why do we school the kids the way we school them? Or what do we want the kids to learn? How do we want them to learn? So a lot of people who never dreamed they would be homeschoolers are not homeschoolers. You know what I mean?
I know, and it's so funny. It's so because Erin was with our oldest, who's just brilliant. She was not getting the attention at school she needed to continue to excel. The question was brought up, well, when she's ahead in reading, what do you have her do? Well, we wait for the other kids to catch up. And we were like, boom, out of here.
There were a few things. Where I decided to homeschool.
But that was the icing on the cake.
Right.
And when Erin homeschooled and crushed it, shocker, everybody was like, oh my God. How do you do...
and I was running a company and I had a baby.
Is she going to be social or is she going to be one of those weird kids? And we're like, well, we're hoping she's going to be a weird kid and we're going to have her stay at your place all the time and just creep you out. No, it was totally fine. She excelled at homeschool, went back into the public school system, excelled there. And now all these parents, it's just ironic that they were like, oh, you can't do that. And now they're like, throwing their hair back, we are homeschooling.
Right.
I'm throwing some shade out. It's Sunday.
Well,
shade day.
Some of my friends said I could never homeschool. I have to work, which at the time I was working. I was running a company, which I'm still running now. And so I was doing it all. And so what's funny is that a lot of working parents are homeschooling, and they're so.
Oh, you said it so much nicer than I did. Good for you. All right, but back to school. Here's my biggest takeaway, and here's what I want you to take away when it comes to this whole school thing. Is we did a podcast that you should go and listen to or watch, and we'll link it down below. Is it your responsibility to grow wealth? And the answer is yes. It is 100% your responsibility to grow wealth, because when situations arise,
Like
do you
this.
want to have zero freaking options?
Control.
That's where, I go all the way back to 2010, where I didn't like things that were happening. And that's where it was like, it is no longer my hope to have more money to control my life. It is my responsibility. And if you're not taking that lesson away right freaking now,
In
2020, about having control in your life, people are like, oh, money doesn't bring you happiness. No, it brings you freedom.
How about just financial freedom? So it doesn't have to be wealth. How about just financial freedom? And that could mean a lot of things. And a lot of people think financial freedom means, like, I don't know. So, to some, that means I don't ever have to work a day in my life again.
Yeah.
To others, that means at least I have some people call it FU money.
Yeah.
Where financially free means, like, I guess, what does that mean? That you're not dependent on your next paycheck, right? I mean, it means different things to different people, but it doesn't have to be wealthy, but you have to have enough to have control over your be able to, I mean, we can't change, we don't necessarily like wearing masks in places. We're not trying to break the law. We're not trying to change the law. There are certain things you can't control with money, but there are certain things like your kids' education that the more of it you have, the more control you have.
Yes. And that's ultimately what we called the episode, it's either your responsibility to create wealth. Well, yeah, that's a catchy headline. But the reality is you want freedom in your life. You want, no matter what political side you are, it doesn't matter, because different parties control different times of our lives.
Right.
But if you want control and you want freedoms, that comes ultimately, the government's not just going to show up, here you go. We gift wrapped it, your freedom here. You have to take it by the horns and get after it, and you need to start right now.
So now that school doesn't look different. In our county, in many counties, kids aren't going back. So that begs the question, now that they don't go to school in a lot of places, what do I want my kids to learn? What do they learn at school that really maybe I don't care if they learn? Maybe we want more home ec at home. Maybe we want to teach them now that it's more in our control than ever. And it's not just, hey, I'm going to send them away for 6 hours so that I can go to my job. It's now within my control what they learn.
Yep.
What is that we want it to be? Who do we want to teach them? What can we afford? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's all of those. But that's just one. It's also, wow, my job can now be done from home. Why do I even live where I live? I mean, so living where you live, a lot of people live where they live because of work and because
Proximity.
of school, and because of schools.
Work and school proximity.
But now, does it matter? Like, now, did the school, no one knows how this virtual learning year is going to go. Like, spring was a total crapshoot because everyone was just in shock mode. But now, no one knows how this year of, true virtual learning is going to go. Yeah. So, really, is it going to matter what school district you're in? I'm not sure. You're shaking your head.
Well, I think we're getting hit with a whole nother online virtual. Like, people in other counties were upset. They didn't want virtual. They did want virtual. People feel like it was a football game. There was a winner at the end. And that's how they're treating this whole pandemic. What I'll say is our county is now all of a sudden so consumed with outside of school, like politics into school, that I feel like it's such a distraction, while other counties aren't dealing with that.
And they're actually getting their act together.
They're getting their act together, and I just feel like, luckily, we're creating things outside of the school.
We're not, the school system and and we are involved in the school system. Like, our kids are still enrolled as virtual students, so we're still enrolled. We haven't withdrawn them, but it has very little with our plans to school our kids this year.
Exactly.
It's not dependent, which is I think what we're talking about is
Yeah.
why are you dependent? Why are just maybe ask your family, why are we dependent on certain systems? Why are we choosing this job over that job,
Exactly.
right? Why are we choosing this house over another house?
How are you evaluating your life systematically, pragmatically, the best way to do it? But to wrap up the school, I just think our county's consumed right now with the Board of Education and who's right, who's wrong, and getting all pissy at each other. That I don't know. I don't feel like I've heard from teachers like, yeah, we've got like our plans in place. I feel like every parent
They didn't get anything until Friday. They didn't get any guidance from the state or from the county until Friday about the schedule that they were following. So everybody's at the mercy of. So yes, you're right that our county is going through some stuff, but they also had to wait to get it from the state.
Exactly.
And then they had to pass it to the schools.
I feel like I'm hearing a lot from other counties that their spring semester that finished off at home line was a lot more efficiently run from hierarchs. Where they were told like, hey, we're still following XYZ, and there was direction, where I felt like we were all just kind of like, hey, we're going back to school in 2 weeks, and then that didn't happen, and there was just like, good luck.
There was more autonomy in our county in the spring, and some teachers took that by the reins and taught. Some teachers were like, peace.
Yeah. And just to be clear, we love our teachers.
Yeah.
Our kids' teachers, our friends' teachers, that we have no issue with. Whenever I hate inefficiencies. So when I see inefficiencies anywhere, like talk about the airport, why can't we get on this airplane very efficiently? Why are we doing these stupid processes? It drives me crazy. So when I see and read emails that are riddled with inefficiencies and making decisions and not making decisions from higher ups, not at the teacher level, it drives me crazy. Inefficiencies drive me crazy.
Yeah.
Aaron can tell you that because I check.
No wonder you love me.
I
like the most efficient person on the planet.
Yes.
That's why.
But I check traffic like for no reason. Are you leaving the house today? No, I just want to make sure people are being efficient.
Yeah, he checks traffic when it doesn't. You also get that from your parents though. But you check traffic when it doesn't apply to us.
Yeah.
What is
just
that?
in case we decide to go across the bridge. Well, not right now. Don't do it just yet. All right, let's move on. What else we got?
So why do people live where they live? And we can talk about neighborhood, we can talk about state, we can talk about size house, because Kevin and I we reevaluate our lives like every day.
Oh my God, we were like so ready.
That's
to move.
why we're
like,
crazy.
On Tuesday we were like, let's just sell everything.
Well,
and
we have an extra bedroom that we don't use, which is a great problem. I'm not complaining. I'm not playing the violin, but we're like, why do we have this extra space? Should we move to something that's more, that we're filling out? Like we can't just sit. Yeah. We can't. We have to constantly question why we're doing what we're doing. Right?
That's right. I don't know.
But,
so, all right, to answer your question, I believe the statistic I remember reading was 90% of the United States population lives within 60 miles of the coast. Or maybe it's 150 miles. So you take Route 95 down the East Coast. Then you take California, Oregon. It's 90%. I don't know. I'll look it up.
Of the coast, okay.
But there's very few people throughout the middle of the country. It's mainly, and that had to do with shipping and jobs and jobs related. And
just getting here to the country.
Just getting to
right?
the country, establishing yourself. But if you, maybe it can't be 90%. Hell, it could be. But
a lot.
It's a lot. And it's that 95 corridor, and it's whatever's on the West Coast. I gotta look it up.
The 504?
Or is it
or Route 5?
the 4? Anyway, proximity to work. That's why I'd say you have so much affordable or government assisted housing closer to your city capitals, because those people don't have the means to drive a car to get to the benefits office and to get their Medicaid. So it's proximity. A lot of things in life. You go all the way back to the Fertile Crescent. Remember Mesopotamia?
So vaguely.
They had to be close to the Nile, to, and it might not have been, sorry, I might have totally misspoke there. but close to fertile plains that they could plant and have vibrant food.
So, quick sidebar.
It's your history
quick
lesson.
sidebar.
Jeez.
So I hated history with a passion until I had a U.S. history teacher who taught me about the industrial age. Shocker, I love work. And the flappers, like when she actually applied. So Miss Naraki from Hammond High School, when she actually, like, it actually made sense to me and was tangible. You know, it was like, oh yeah, you know, and she talked about the flappers, like bringing their dresses up and their hair up and stuff like that. And the industrial age, I was like, oh, before that, it was such a snooze. So, like, I hear it, like, Mesopotamia, I'm like, that sounds familiar. I paid zero attention. I don't know how I got
I don't think it was the Nile, though. I feel like it was another river.
Somebody correct us.
Yeah, anyway. Okay, but no, I think the one thing I know for a fact that the pandemic has done, and I believe it to be a positive, is it's fast forward us, I'd say 5 years into the future. Where Target, for example, was planning on rolling out their grocery curbside and delivery and all that stuff in the next 3 years. It forced them to do it in 3 weeks. Macy's, JCPenney's, let's be honest, we knew they were going out of business in the next 3 to 5 years. It fast forwarded that process. So companies that were on its last leg, they're getting shifted out, just like
like Nordstrom. Like, oh my God, what is the future of shopping malls? Is there none?
It's going to be very different, very smaller, I would imagine.
More like germ.
I'd say more that mixed use
conscious.
of, like, it's probably more restaurant focused with shopping that people want to go and touch things. But so many people have transferred over to Amazon at an exponential rate, or Walmart shopping. This is what the pandemic's caused, is a change in the way we do business, which was happening. It was happening, but now it's exponentially.
So, and I want to go the opposite. I actually think the pandemic brought us back where we needed to go. Like, you know how at the beginning of all of this, we talked about what's the best part of it, and you said, like, the family together time.
Yeah.
Well, that's going back to the 50s and the 60s. So I actually think the pandemic's brought us back in time to what we need to get back to. So yes, family together time. I mean, oh my gosh, like, kids are with us at work. Kids are with us while they're schooling. A lot of people are starting to talk about growing their own food. Like, people are getting back to basics.
Yeah, it's great.
I, for one, want to break up with my phone. I, like, now when I go for walks with Parker, I leave my phone at home.
I know, and I can't get a hold of you.
And I love it. That's why I do it. I'm just kidding.
You were gone for 20 minutes. What was I supposed to do?
We all know it feels like crap to be spending time with your kid and be distracted by your phone. Like, doesn't that feel like crap to you?
No, it does. It does.
Doesn't
it? Really
it?
Does.
And you get, like, if it's on you, you're like, I'm not doing something stimulating right now. You're not present. So I love leaving my phone at home and walking with her and just enjoying what's out there.
Yeah.
Like, that's one thing I'm really trying to break up with my phone.
And I think that's good, obviously.
Yeah.
I am concerned for people listening that are having trouble compartmentalizing. And what I mean by that is you're on your phone, your kid's trying for your attention, then, like, you're always, so Erin's the center of our universe, and it's like, mom, hey, honey, can I give you this business idea? Like, she's getting pulled in so many, everybody wants a piece the most of Erin, and it's very hard to, okay, wait, am I in mom mode? Am I in wife mode? Am I in, I got an email from a client mode? So for a lot of people at home, I know that's got to be a struggle, because it's a struggle for me.
Yeah.
And so just be mindful of that. The more you can compartmentalize, the better off you'll be.
And this is going on another tangent, but I think it's important. I thought of this the other day because one reason I'm breaking up with my phone is because I'm breaking up with my social media feed, which we've talked about. There's nothing good about it. There's nothing good about, okay, I'm sorry, maybe except for if you just had a baby, congratulations, and I want to still see that. But I don't want to have to go through 5 political posts, whether I agree with them or not, to get you to your baby picture. I really don't. And I'm tired of it. And unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to see your baby picture because I am tired of seeing the other 5 posts. And what this is doing, we've talked about it, it's road rage. People are hiding behind they're saying things on social media that are ugly and you would never say to somebody's face. And so they're showing their ugliest selves no matter which side they're on. They're both ugly. I'm sorry, they are. And meanwhile, we're in a pandemic where we're not supposed to be around people, and what people are really craving, what we're missing is I'm me, you're you. Let's actually connect and have a conversation. We're not missing that. But like we're not supposed to be with people right now.
I know. And
so it's dividing people more by going to this. So I'm trying to break up with social media. I'm trying to break up with my phone. I'm not trying to break up with you.
Thank God. My prayers are working, baby.
But we're going backwards too. Like in time, in a good way. We're getting back. I've said this before, I'll say it again. I love that we're not rushing to 5 activities after 3 o'clock. I love that the evenings are ours. Right?
That is staying with us. We have to write this down.
Our kids never did a lot of activities.
Yeah,
though.
But if it gets to the point where the kids are being invited to like, oh, they should be in our travel team. They should be in our travel B team and our C team.
I am really glad. I don't know what we're missing, but I'm really glad we've never been a part of a travel team.
I know.
Even
that was my childhood. That was my childhood.
It was mine too.
I loved it, but at the same time, I missed a lot of things, and my parents were very like, no, you can't go to that party. We're going to Connecticut this weekend. I was like, I haven't been to a party in like 2 years.
Didn't you fake sick to go to a party? Like, did you?
Yeah.
Like, because you had to, right? You're like, I'm not feeling well.
It was the only way I could get out.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what didn't we cover that's big? Why do I work where I work? Why do I live where I live? Why do I school my kids the way we school our kids? Is there like right now? Are those the? I mean. I feel like you should always be evaluating the people you're around. Like, why am I friends with these people? Why, we've talked about, family can be toxic. Why do I constantly spend time with these people, whether they're friends or family, if they're toxic? Like, that should be something you're always evaluating. But are there any other big ones, or is that?
I'm stuck on social media. I've been thinking about this, and don't worry, I'm not about to get political.
I don't care.
Save that. Just go to my personal page. You'll see me go political. Anyway, I was thinking, what would be fun? So it's up to us. It's up to you, listeners. We need to change the messaging. Facebook started with like, where should I go to eat? Who's, hanging out with who? And now it's like just flooded with shared post after shared post. So I was thinking we're on a food journey, Aaron and I. We're trying to hit up all these locations. So I was like, how cool would it be if we posted like, we heard to go here, which we have. Where are the other spots? And then we just post pictures while we go. And we're trying to change the culture of like, well, that's fun. That's not something like, oh my God, I hate this political person.
Right. It's like,
So
don't hate on my burrito.
I hadn't shared that with you yet, but I wanted to
like it.
On air.
And it's so in line with what you do with Comparison Cooking, Kevin's YouTube channel. Subscribe.
No, I can't think of. I feel
like we should touch back on the work one, maybe.
Well, and when you're evaluating your friends, I always go back to this. You are the average of your 5 closest friends. And you really need to think about that on a regular basis. Are my 5 closest friends getting promotions at work? Are they, getting in trouble? Like, oh my God, you got kicked out of the bar like 3 weeks in a row. I might not want to hang out with Johnny anymore.
Or give Johnny some help.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But anyway, But you are the average of your 5 closest friends. So if your friends aren't crushing it and you secretly want to crush it, first, let people know you want to crush it. And then start mixing
acting like you want to crush it.
Grow up. Be an adult.
I like
Crush it.
I like it. Action items.
All right, so back to work. It goes back to building wealth episode. Like, when I didn't feel I had control of outcomes that were happening around me, I needed to better myself. So I went and I took some tests and I got credentials. I furthered my education to get the job I always wanted, and that job has led to a very fruitful life.
Yeah, are you waiting for work to happen to you? Has work happened to you? Have you gotten laid off 1, 2, 3 times? Maybe it's time to step it up a notch if you have. Work doesn't happen to you, or it doesn't have to anyway.
Yeah.
It does. I mean, it's something you can absolutely take by the reins and get better skills, get better with people. I mean, we've talked about it before. We're all in sales. Get better with talking to people. Even if you're not more confident, act like you are. If you act like you're more confident, people will think you're more confident.
Yes.
So get better, right?
Grow
up.
Do better.
Get better.
Do better. No, and that, like, it's just all is so intertwined right now. Like, is life, like school? Is school happening to you and your kids? Is it out of your control? Is work happening to you and is it out of your control? If you're not setting your time frames up, somebody else is for you. So if you're not controlling your destiny, you're not controlling your schedule, your time, somebody else is looking to control it for you and tell you what to do and tell you where to be.
And it takes a lot of hustle to flip that around. So you can't just be like, that's right, I am going to take control of my time. Like, it takes a lot of working when others are partying, working when others are watching TV. You know what I mean? Like, working after your first job. I mean, it's not something you can flip around the mindset, but it takes a lot of hustle to flip it to where your time and your resources are truly yours, right?
Hustle.
Or do you disagree?
Oh, no, absolutely.
Like, it's something you can flip around the mindset, but it's going to take a lot of work.
And that's only going to be done by you.
Right. But very freeing, very worth it. Not everybody is waiting for things to happen to them. So what can you change around to where your kid's school, your job, your life, your house, where you live, what you wear, what relationships you have, what can you do to where they are more in your control and not just something that are happening to you?
So leave a comment below on what you are struggling with the most, on what you feel is out of your control, and we'll touch base and talk about and help you guys out. As always, you have been great, and we will see you next week.